My husband's work wife insinuated that I'm dumb and can only talk about Kim K, and my husband laughed. Now he's freaking out because he's losing me. I'm a beautician married to an engineer. He's highly intelligent, and I've always been proud of him. He has a colleague who is also brilliant, and before recently, I had no reason to feel uncomfortable about their relationship. We've been together for 5 years, married for 1.5, and everything seems secure. We're both independent, and I've always trusted him. However, everything changed during a recent work trip. The trip was a 3-day event, a tradition at my husband's workplace. We came back yesterday morning, and I felt uneasy. It seemed like my husband and his colleague were in their own world, leaving me and her partner to feel like the third and fourth wheels. On the second night, during dinner, I sat silently, playing with my food after feeling ignored. Her partner was quiet at first, but eventually, we started talking. The colleague turned to us and asked why we were talking quietly. Her partner responded, saying we were just getting to know each other since my husband and his colleague were busy discussing work-related topics. The colleague laughed and said, "What could we discuss with you? Makeup and Kim Kardashian?" Referring to me. "We have more intelligent things to talk about." I was taken aback. Was she implying that because I'm a beautician, I could only discuss Kim Kardashian? I thought it was unfair. Any outsider would feel left out hearing two people discussing work. My husband laughed at her comment, and her partner said, "That's rude," but I didn't respond. I was already uncomfortable. On the last day, I spent most of the time with her partner, avoiding the other two. Later, the partner messaged me, saying he'd been uncomfortable with my husband and his colleague's relationship. He admitted to going through her messages and shared screenshots, showing my husband and his colleague making fun of me, and calling me stupid and shallow. My husband would sometimes chime in with a "No, I love her," and she would answer, "You only like banging hot dumb chicks," and they laugh. What stung the most was when my husband texted her, "I love your brain." I felt crushed. I had always thought my husband respected me, especially for being my own boss and making close to 6 figures, but those messages made me feel insignificant. Update 2. I confronted my husband, showing him the messages from the partner. He asked why the partner was going through her messages, and I explained that he felt uncomfortable with their behavior. My husband seemed confused and told me the colleague was just being petty, and I shouldn't care. I asked him why he didn't say anything when she was making fun of me. He insisted he didn't want to stoop to her level. I asked about the text where he said, "I love your brain," and he explained it was related to work. He offered to show me the full conversation. The next day, he apologized and promised to do better, but I was still hurt. I told him that if someone were trashing him in front of me, I wouldn't let it slide. That's when I started crying, and he reassured me that he was sorry and would do better. However, later that day, the partner messaged me again, with more screenshots. He shared that my husband and the colleague had kissed at a summer work party. I was devastated. When I showed my husband, he panicked and said she kissed him, but he rebuffed her. He admitted that he hadn't told me about it out of embarrassment. I was heartbroken. I asked him to move out, and he's staying with his mother. He insists there's nothing romantic between them, that he loves me and would never cheat. He promised to quit his job and never see her again, but I'm unsure if I can trust him. Update 3. My husband showed up at my work today with a bunch of printed text messages from the partner. He had contacted him and asked for all their conversations. I had to read through them, and they were from over a year ago. He admitted that when the colleague started at his company in August 2021, he bonded with her because she reminded him of his cousin, who had committed suicide when they were teenagers. He said he always felt a protective instinct toward her, especially because she had been bullied and had suffered emotionally, similar to his cousin. I was shocked. He told me that when the colleague found out he was married, she got angry and said I looked like the kind of person who would have bullied her. She couldn't understand what he saw in me. He brushed it off, thinking it was just jealousy. But things got more complicated, and he admitted he never confronted her about her feelings because he didn't want to hurt her. He also confessed that they kissed at a work party, but he didn't reciprocate. After that, they argued about boundaries, but the relationship became strained. He swore nothing romantic or sexual happened after that. He resigned and promised to find a new job, saying he had to let her go and would have no further contact with her. He apologized again for making me feel unappreciated, assuring me that he loved me and never meant to make me feel like I was just a trophy to him. Despite everything, I'm not sure how I feel anymore. I love him, but something has changed. I feel bad for his colleague and the pain she must have gone through, but it hurts knowing that my husband was drawn to her because of similarities to someone he lost. It's hard not to feel like I'm just a replacement. I love him, but I'm starting to question whether we are really a good match. It's hard for me to see him as someone who truly values me, especially now that I know he views me through the lens of his past wounds.